And we're going to try here today for the second time. I have Miguel Arias here, and there he is. Hi, Miguel. And
Hello, Richard.
we're gonna try it now today for the second time. As you may have noticed, we got some good feedback on the Exoplan video, what we put up together, and I thought it was super fun, and it ended up such a great conversation and a training tool for everyone. And then now I said sound issue. I know it sucks, right? Everybody was like, "Hey, what was going on?" I thought it was me at first. No, it wasn't you. I was in the hotel and the internet there wasn't the greatest, and I was on my itty bitty Surface, Microsoft Surface
Yeah,
Pro, so that wasn't enough to do all of this. So for those reasons, today here one more time, Exoplan, and if you don't know Miguel already, you really should talk to our Opulent support. Then you will get to know him. He's amazing and wealth of knowledge, knows how to fix your stuff, and also trains. And that's why he's on here today, so he can tell us about Exoplan. I'm gonna
how's it going, Richard?
I'm gonna put you on the full screen now, and I just let you take it away and not be in the background, Miguel.
Yeah, so just a quick rundown if people don't know me. I've been in the industry as a dental technician for close to 20 years. I've been with Opulent for almost 2 years now. I was one of the first ones. Yeah, ever since I made the jump to the distributor side, I enjoyed every minute of it. So it's been great. Actually, fun fact, Richard was one of my first trainers as well, at when he still worked at AGNA, him and Camilla. So yeah, really excited to be here again and do this Exoplan demonstration for you guys.
Yeah, good stuff. And I think really we were chatting a little bit back and forth. It might not be exactly the same what we've done, but we
Yeah,
really both thought that the things what we were trying to show you guys, the the ease of the workflow from the demo case, and making the surgical guide, how to get the libraries added to it, the dual scan
yeah,
protocol, and actually that just came up today. I was talking to another doctor and chatted with him about the dual scan protocol. So this is good stuff, I think. So we're gonna try and keep it the same, but feel free, guys, drop something in the comments or in the chat message.
yeah, for sure. And we'll definitely try to answer your questions the best we can. Let me share my screen. All right. I think we discussed this the last time. I have my Exocad and Exoplan synced together. So I have everything that I could do everything out of 1 dB. That way we don't have to use, I don't have to open up Exoplan and I don't have to open up Exocad at the same time. I could just add it all into one location. Um, to me, I find it very easy, more easy for me like this. It's just an easier setup. So I have everything neutralized into 1 dB, and I can save everything in one dB as well. And if you guys see my icon right here, so I have regular dental design, implant. That's the one I added for Exoplan, and I have partials and model, and I have some software in here to do printing if I wanted to. But for the most part, I like having everything in one area. Um, so that's kind of
I think actually I was muted here on the OBS stream. If you don't mind me adding to this, the for the folks which are using Ceramil, um, we also got a solution for that to put that a little bit more integrated together. Um, because you would lose the integration when you're updating the Ceramil software, the better idea is not touching that, and then actually changing and we can help you with that, the configuration of Exoplan, that Exoplan is connecting to the Ceramil database. And then that
yeah.
way, yes, you have two programs, two databases, the Ceramil database and Exoplan database, but the cases are being shared in between those two. So you only make the data entry once, you open the other one and you hit implant planning, and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah, and that's I mean that's the benefit. I mean of this. I mean, like I think me and you had to discuss this before, and maybe you guys didn't hear it because of the sound the last time. I just like the fact now everything is easily seamless integration. You could do everything at a one location. it's been everything that I've been wanting Exocad to do for a while. So, and yeah, I think it's awesome what they were accomplishing. Hopefully, we'll see a progression of more and more stuff down the line. But I like where they're going so far, and especially I feel like it's becoming more user friendly these days.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
Miguel, let's try to recap really quick because we did that last time as well. What the
Mhm.
new features are. So everybody was waiting for the Galway Exoplan version for, I believe, for two main reasons, and that is lateral fixation pins and
Yeah.
virtual tooth extractions. Am I
Yes.
forgetting something?
Um, no, I mean,
I
no, I
mean,
think
there's
that was,
more, but those were the
yeah,
two
there's
main
more.
ones, right?
Those are the two main ones. And now, is more and more options of fully guided stuff. So
Yeah.
I really like that now. They keep adding more. I believe the last time we did this, it was like 8,700 libraries. Now it's, if you look at the website currently, it's 10,000
Mhm.
libraries. So
And the
I mean,
integration of the libraries got easier
yeah,
because you have the library tool embedded into the Galway. So
yeah.
when you click in the software on Get More Libraries, it looks
Mhm.
very similar than if you're going to the website, but you don't have to deal with extracting it on the right folder place. The software takes care of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. The only caveat with that is you do have to restart the program once you
Yes.
do that. Just that's the only trade-off. Hopefully down the line they will take care of that issue. I would think, give it time. I think they will come up with a good solution for that. I feel like,
Yeah.
um, I mean, yeah. So I'm just gonna start a regular implant planning case. So if you guys can see my screen, watch it. Watch it. Share my screen with you guys. Give me 1 second.
And once Miguel's getting the screen up, the idea, of course, is to backwards plan. So the short version of the process, what Miguel is going to show us in a little bit more detail than I'm describing here, is we're going to set a library tooth, and that library tooth will give us, together with the diagram data, information: where is the nerve, where should I stay away from, how long can my
Yeah.
implant be, what's the correct positioning of the implant,
Mhm.
in relation to where's the bone, where's the nerve, and what's a good positioning for the implant for where the tooth is going to end up being. And I guess that's always the challenging. There's a lot of good people out there which can do amazing freehand jobs, but it doesn't always work out for reasons of not knowing what bone is, or well, not knowing where the tooth is going to be. And
Yeah.
assuming it's going to be here, but then well, that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
point of it.
So I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add the CBT scan. Excuse me. To it. I'm gonna change the thresh. And this is a number one question I always get with this, guys. I talked about this so many times. Do not worry about the model being backwards. It makes you. There's an option to align it. So I have to. I shouldn't have to say that, but a lot of people has asked me, why is the model coming in backwards? When you get, there is a step where you have to align the mesh, or CT scan to CT scan, or CT scan to mesh. Um, just, you did nothing wrong. I just want to put that out of your head right now. I don't know if you get that question a lot, Richard, but I do. Um,
Um, Sorry, I'm sometimes muting myself, so I'm not
yeah,
interrupting you here too much. Yeah, I get it sometimes. I
yeah,
also clicked, and I think we're going to get there. And last time you already pointed it out, I
yeah,
clicked very often on the wrong thing.
yeah,
And one model is
yeah,
already aligned.
yeah, yeah. So I never worry about that.
All
So it's gonna
user
give me the option.
errors.
Yeah, user error. So since we're gonna do CT to mesh, which we have, there is an option to do CT to CT scan, or there's an option to skip the CT alignment. But we have the mesh, we're gonna align it. And just say for hypothetical, if you had a prosthesis, like an edentulous case, you could actually use that option in this corner. I don't know if you guys see it or not, right here. If we have time, I will go over it so you guys could get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So it's kind of the same thing, like a model alignment, kind of you need to pick 3 points. For everybody that knows, if you see this antagonist, never check on it because it won't align it. It'll just keep it as a separate mesh.
That's exactly
So
the one I'm talking about, which I clicked quite often the wrong one.
I never click. I've learned this the hard way, so yeah, I never click on it. So yeah.
Doing it two
So if
times wrong
everything,
is okay, right? If you do it 3 or 4
yeah,
times, it
right.
becomes ridiculous. I at least have
Yeah,
done 4 times, if not 5.
yeah. So yeah, I've done it. Maybe I beat you, Richard. I think I've done it like 7 times now. um, but yeah, so as long as now it's gonna start the matching process, the alignment process, excuse me. To me, I think their alignment has been really good with the CT scans. I mean, the accuracy's been very well, surprisingly, because the CT scan is, you can tell. And I mean, I've seen they're not all the greatest CT scans, but I mean,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
like
does do
it's
it.
a good demo case as well here, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
In real world cases, you're eventually dealing with more scatter from
yeah.
whatever materials which might be in the mouth,
Hmm.
or the scanner might not be the greatest.
Yeah,
Things have progressed in the meantime. There's great scanners out there, etc.
yeah,
But there are tools to edit things out, cut things out, kind of like the
yeah,
mesh editor, what you know from the
yeah.
Exocad
Hmm.
lab software.
Yeah. So if I think it's okay, then I'm just gonna go accept. I'll hit okay for this. Yep. The reason why I'm saying delete file because I've done this case so many times as demos. So it's just deleting the old information that I had on there. So right now is asking me to locate the left canal, like right here. And what's also great about this, I could always toggle in between screens, so I could swap out if I want to see it from this view, vice versa. I could go back to this view or click on this view. Um, it's a very great, a lot of these great tools. I don't believe it was in 2.3. I want to say this is a newer feature. Maybe I'm wrong there, Richard?
Could be. So while still tracing the nerve there, once I'm going to just explain a thing. What I think is sometimes confusing to people is the view. What you're seeing right now in the top right with the black gridded background. That is like the DICOM data as a 3D. You can rotate that how you're used to seeing a mesh being able to rotate. The blue and the orange boxed views, they're unable to be rotated, but you can slice through them. You can scroll through the DICOM slices. So
Yeah.
what you can do is you can basically use that that upper right view to get a good view angle, and then you can already see that blue box there in small on there, and that is basically a cut view on where the slice is ending up being on that big magnified area on the left side. And there's from different angles, different cut views through it from different perspectives, and that's basically how that works. And then you're just slicing through it with the mouse wheel. Am I forgetting something, Miguel?
No, I mean, no, that's it. I mean, that's exactly what you're saying. And then, like I said, it's a great tool. I like it a lot. It's been, yeah. So I'm gonna hit next. Now it's asking me to place the teeth just for a guide, pretty much. And it's just like this part's identical to regular Exocad. And you still have some libraries, which I don't even mess with if it's just for a placeholder. And you do how you would normally do. Shift to scale. I could do, bring it in a little bit. Probably good enough for what I need it for. All right, awesome. So now it's going to give me all the different options of implants. And this is what Richard was talking about before. If you don't see an implant that you have here, you could always get more added. So if you go to this download more area right here. Let me share my screen real quick. Right here. You could actually see now they went up. That was over 11,000 implants and over 900 libraries with a wide range. Yeah, with a wide range of sleeves and drills and anchor pins. And that library literally grew. I mean, when we did it, I feel like it was 8,600 when we did our first time, Richard. I want to say, yeah, now it's like not, it grows. Like I say to everybody, you might not see what you want to use yet, but check back in a month or two, it might just automatically show up. So, so yeah, it's a great resources. And also too, you can also get, let's download. Do you guys, yeah, okay. So you could get this list, and it's always updating of what's fully guided or what's not fully guided yet. Keep checking this list because they update it, I want to say every couple weeks. So this will give you the full detail of what's going on. Hopefully, like I said, they keep adding more and more. They're trying to make hopefully everything for the most part fully guided. But yeah, but the most popular ones are in there, like Neodent and Strawman and Noble Biocare, Dent Supply, Hyosyn. So Noble, yeah, so by Horizon as well, excuse me. So yeah, let's get back into it. So just for example, if I decide if I want to add a library, and if I go to here, all I would need to do is fill out your serial number, your name, your email, everything, and then you'll hit accept and then download the link. Once you do that, it automatically will populate into this area. Let me show you where. Sure. Okay. So it will automatically populate back into this implant area. But the caveat is you have to restart the program for the libraries to show back into this little folder area. So
Did you try
anything you want to add to that?
out of curiosity? Sometimes with some of the things, although it's telling you to reboot it, it works if you go back in the wizard and then forward in the wizard. Did you try that ever?
All right, no, I never tried that. You know what?
That's
Why
something you
not?
could
Let's
try.
try. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Let's move on now. Who knows? I'm giving you bad advice, and then it's my fault that the software's crashing or something.
Why not? Let's find out. I did it, so let's see if it happens. Let's see if I go. Nope, it did not work.
All right. See, my bad advice.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just gonna pick an implant.
But no big deal. Of
I'll
course, you
pick,
can save a scene file if you really had to use this now, and then load the
yeah,
scene file again, so your progress is not lost.
yes, exactly. I'm gonna say okay to that one. I'm gonna place the implant.
So the different views here come really in handy when you're watching Miguel placing it, because you can see right away if something's off. Also, there's some shortcuts available where you can cycle through the library if you're now realizing, oh, I have tons of space towards the nerve.
Yeah,
When we're talking about the nerve, there is somewhere in the settings an option for you to change your safety distance. So
yeah,
you can either put something more safe on there if you feel so you're just getting started with things, or if you're more adventurous, you can reduce
yeah,
the safety distance there a little bit.
yeah. Also, I also discovered. Did you notice you could do this now? You could, like, say you want a longer one, you could actually drag it and then make a.
Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to. So I think
Yeah,
that was before in Plovdiv you had to hold down shift and then go with the mouse wheel up or down or something. I
yeah,
don't remember. It's more obvious. So you don't
yeah,
have to go back, pick another implant, which is longer, and then go forward and place it all over again. You can just change it
yeah,
here.
yeah. That's what. Yeah, that was like a
Yeah.
big discovery. And then if you see it right now, obviously it's marking red, so it's hitting the nerve. Um, it tells you, so I can always put it back. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Before, yeah, I believe you had to hit shift. Now you just don't even need to hit shift. You could just go to that little area and move it back up,
Yeah.
or shorten it down, or you could drag it down. Yeah, and make it as long as you want. So it's kind of nice, and it updates it too when while you're doing it. See, now I went to 13 millimeters. So yeah, I mean, it's been a great experience. I just like the fact that you don't have to go back. I mean, I feel like
Right.
that was super tedious, and now you're cutting out some stuff. So okay, so this is fully guided, and every implant that are fully guided, it will say it on there, and just make sure you check the sleeves area and stuff like that for what's fully guided, what's not. If you go back into that same area, I'll bring it up in a minute. You will see.
to explain maybe the difference here for a split second, what Miguel is talking about is there is not only different licenses but also different libraries available. You could get the Exoplan license if you're just interested in reviewing your DICOM data, finding out, okay, what kind of implant can I actually place here without colliding with the nerve, and then you already have a printout PDF at the end of what parts are being used, etc. You can take screenshots, pictures, and whatever on where the placement needs to happen without a guide if you're freehanding things. But at least you know where the bone is at, where the nerve's at, and what kind of size implant. And some of the libraries are fully guided, so you can, if you have the guide creator module added, and a fully guided library which supports the sleeves and has all the parts in there, that you now can create, because you're already 80% there, basically, a surgical guide. Puzzle the sleeves together at the end, and then you can have a fully guided workflow.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, and then you'll see too. You might need to download sleeves guide creator. You'll see it on the list. If it doesn't have it, then it's not there. So it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, they keep adding more and more fully guided stuff, sleeve kits and everything. So just keep your eye on their website, and yeah, like I said, it keeps changing every day now. Like me and Richard were saying, 11,000 different implants. So which is a little wild to me. But yeah. So, and also what Richard was talking about before, you'll get a planning report of the case, of the CT scan, the radiographic images, the implant system we're using. This is from a different case, but it's the same principle. And yeah, it's very good. It's a PDF. You could download it directly onto your desktop, or you could just print it. It's up to you how you want it, what you want to do with it. So it's good. It's good that it makes that for you. I like that feature a lot.
Right. And if maybe not only your, I don't know who's going to make the planning. I mean, a lot of doctors are using diagnostics or Implant or something, or maybe now Exoplan, and make their own planning. But if you order an NS service for the doctor will reviews it, make sure that all the information is okay. But it happens to be one of the doctors who doesn't like to use guides and rather freehands. At least you still have all the information there and that complete report there, and it's still, there's still value to it.
Yeah. Yes, and I agree with that 100%. I mean, the new customers I have now, they love that feature. They love that they have that option to create a PDF file. They keep a record for their clients, their patients, of what they did, make sure, double check. It's almost like, to me, it was almost like a safety net. I don't know. Would you agree with that, Richard? I feel like, to make sure.
It's exactly, and you can double check if all the parts are correct. You know, I mean, stuff happens. Maybe stuff is ordered wrong. Maybe stuff is delivered wrong. Who knows what? So you can lay it all out, and you can just follow. Not every day is easy for the doctor either. You know, maybe it was a crazy busy day, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. And it's nice to be able to just follow the printout instructions of it. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let me proceed. And now this is just confirming that I'm approving this implant planning. And then it'll show you date of birth, name, patient's name, date of birth, the DICOM of the patient, and the birth again. So I'm going to agree to that. Now it's starting to produce that PDF where what I just showed you guys recently. So everything's planned and saved. It'll show me the report, which is that PDF we just went over. And then also too, you can also find it. Click on here again. Sure. And this is the one I literally just did. So you see like before and after. You just right there, AstraTech EV. Disclaimer. Like I said, it's a great tool. I love having this tool. And yes, it's been
And
very,
even vice versa. Let's say the doctor makes the planning because they insist on making their own planning. If they
yeah.
send that PDF to the laboratory, oh my God, this is
Mm,
fantastic because if you worked with regular handwritten RXs, prescriptions in the laboratory, you know what kind of struggle it is and how often you're probably going to end up on the phone chasing your information. Hey, what type implant? What size implant is this? I
yeah.
need to order parts today. I need more information. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this is a huge game changer in my opinion, just because it's gonna help the lab, it's gonna help the doctor, it's gonna help, you know, patient, and it just makes everybody, I feel like everybody's on the same page at that point. So it makes things easier. So yeah. So now I'm going into Guide Creator. I compare it to if I had, I don't know, if you use the split module, I think is a fair comparison. It's pretty straightforward, very easy to use. Um, so yeah. So you could change the thickness of the base if you want. Um, you could make the height taller if you wanted to. And don't worry about, if you guys see this, don't worry about this is touching. Once you start designing it, the guide, I'll notch this area out. So you don't have to worry about it. So I tend to leave mine's a little bit bigger, not so small. So, so now now it's gonna block out. I'm okay with it. I never changed the settings, to be honest with you guys. I don't know anybody that does. The only thing I recommend though, and I'll show you guys in a minute, um, is if you have a certain type of printer, try to use their printer settings to the materials.
Yeah, perfect. I was just about to say that. That's exactly it. The blockout settings, whatever. I mean, they should be fine as they are. Your printer may differ, and
But
not every
yeah,
printer might be ideal for printing surgical guides. You should keep that in mind. If you need some advice on that part, then we are able to certainly help you with that and can recommend
yeah,
you a printer which is validated and where you can
yeah,
expect everything to fit together, because that is otherwise eventually the frustrating part, that if those
yeah.
settings are not working, the sleeve might end up fitting too tight or too loose.
And that seems to be the common problem that I come across. Like people don't use their, if they have a certain type of printer, like you kind of see it. If you, I don't know if you can see it on my screen, Richard, but you see where it says printer presets.
Yep.
Um,
I hope everybody can see it well, because
yeah.
it is a little bit smaller than
Let
normal,
me see.
but
Let me see. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. All right.
I think should be fine.
Okay.
And you can
Um,
modify those. So if you take the pre-made printer settings and you disagree with some of their defaults and you want it a little bit more snug, you can change them and it will automatically save it.
yeah. And but all the main ones are in here. Like Asiga, Vision Tech, Form Labs, Colzer, Sprint Ray, Whitmix, Rapid Shape. Um, yeah. So they have their presets to already. And then you'll see whatever V-print surgical guide for rapid shape, for example. And yeah, so you could use that one. And that's preset for that material. So you know it's accurate because they validated it. Exocad validated it for it. So yeah. Just go next. Just make sure. I had a customer that was having trouble with her putting the sleeves in, and then once we messed with the printer settings, it resolved their issues. So but yeah. Any more thoughts on that one, Richard? Or, no?
No, I think I pretty much summed it up. And that the defaults are defaults, and you're free to tweak them, but
Yeah.
they're a great starting point.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm just doing like I would do, kind of like a splint, I guess. Same purpose. If you do splints now in Exocad, you should be able to pick this up, no problem. If you need help too, we're glad to help you. We can always set up some kind of training session with you guys as well. So if I hit apply.
And Miguel ended up choosing making 2 outlines. You could also just make 1 consecutive line. That's up to you.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it's gonna look. Yep, I think I'm good with this. I'm gonna go next. Now, I know if you guys are wondering about the windows, yes, you could put the windows in if you want. Make sure it's all the way down. And then you can make it as big as you want, small as you want. You can always add another one. Right there. So if I go next, that was a little bit probably too much. I made it too big, the window there, but like I said, it does notch out that area, so I never worry about that. But if you put the kind of see it's down, but like I said, you guys can always go back. That's what's the great thing about this software. You can always, back. Maybe I'll raise this up a little bit. Do this as well. Go next. Now you see a nice little window. You can do a little freeforming on here if you want. I don't do anything. I just leave it as is. This next protocol PDF sheet. This is probably, I hope it didn't just freeze on me. Okay. Show screen. Okay. This is what I like, Richard. I especially with this now, you can see what the surgical guide design is going to be. what the final drill depth is, the sleeve, the
Right.
parts. Yeah, you could get everything you need. Yeah, this is like, I love this. This has been my favorite, one of my favorite tools on here for sure. Any additional part name, implant info, tooth number 19, the sleeve kit information. So yeah, this is what I like. I love this information. To me, for a lab, this is golden, especially if they're, you know, if they're doing your printing for you, um, stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, so I like the,
And don't hold
me
me
personally,
to
I
it,
like
but I
the,
think you could replace. I don't hold me to it because it's FDA approved software. But I believe that there is a way that you might be able to change the Exocad logo for your own logo, because it's on your logo. But don't hold me to it. I would have to look for it.
yes. Well, you're talking about changing that
Or just on the PDF, so that you can basically
on the
write a
PDF.
laboratory
Yeah.
note on it if you want to send that out to a doctor.
I believe you're allowed to do that. Yes. But I can always double check. So, but yes, I believe I know what you're talking about, Richard. And I want to say yes, you are right about that. But yeah, don't hold it to it, don't hold it against me, my bro. So, but yeah, I mean, straightforward guide. The software is, like we were talking about before, is very intuitive, very easy to use. I feel like it's a lot more user friendly than 2.3. Um, any thoughts, Richard? I mean, you have a copy, don't you? Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
you do. Have you?
Yeah. And of course, I mean, this shows in a relatively simple case how simple it can be. Your
Yeah,
cases might be more complex. You know, if it's just a single implant, I don't know if really, you know, people would necessarily use a guide unless you're getting just going with implants, and you might appreciate that.
yeah,
Um, but it's obviously more for the complex cases, more implants,
yeah,
etc., where you can't really know exactly where the teeth are ending up being. It is really worth it making a backwards planning, that having the design already basically there where it needs to be, having the teeth end up where they're needing to be for your function and for your aesthetics, and
yeah,
then planning the implants underneath it.
yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Do you think we have some time so you can maybe show us a few things on the dual scan protocol?
Yeah, for sure. Let me just get that. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna bring that up real quick. So, okay, yeah, here. Let me share my screen with you guys. Um, all right. All right. Richard, you see my screen okay?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a dual scan protocol. If I go, let me see if I can go back so you guys can see. Go back into my
So to maybe point out an issue, since I just basically dealt with that today, is you're imagining the patient has that denture, and now you're trying to capture that video, what the patient has had established with the denture. It could be maybe if it was worn and old, maybe replaced with something
Hmm.
new video established, a temporary interim denture being made, and now you want to transfer this video over and somehow make a new restoration and build that into the available space in your video, maintaining
Yeah.
that video. With a denture, difficult because like how do you want to accomplish that with, let's say, an intraoral scanner? I mean, yes, there's, if there's a will, there's always a way. You
Yeah.
can figure something out, but this is a really cool way of doing that.
Yeah, and actually, Richard, this is actually from a live case actually recently from one of our customers.
Yeah,
They were having
I've
trouble with
seen
it,
that.
and
It's different. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
yeah, it's
I think
different. And,
I recognize the stickers too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're regular. But yeah, so he has Exoplan, was having trouble. He wanted to make this prosthesis as a surgical, use that as a surgical guide, and we kept coming up with the issue. And come to find out, he did not pick the correct thing. He picked it as he forgot to click where you see align object as a prosthesis on here.
yeah,
If you don't do that, it thinks this is a model.
yeah,
If you don't check that,
yeah,
so that was one of the issues. But yeah, and he was gracious enough to let me use this case. And I told him we were doing a um, a demo today, webinar, and he said, "Yeah, go ahead." So I figured I'll bring this case up for us
yeah.
since it's same topic of the dual scan, even though there is another copy of the dual scan as well as a demo case. So,
Yeah.
but you know, but yeah, I thought this case was really interesting. So, um, and this is, I mean, I feel like this is more of the CT scans you're gonna get. Be
Yeah.
realistic. The other one was more, much more better than this, and this is a perfect example. You're not gonna get the prettiest CT scan, um, but this is a good example. Any right? Would you say that, Richard? Like
Yeah,
90, I would say I
definitely.
seen it more like this
Yeah,
than
yeah.
anything else.
Well, it really depends on what your residual dentition is, what materials have been used, and how much scatter that might produce in the scan.
Yeah,
To me, what was relatively new, I've now seen a couple pictures of it in different sizes and whatever with these stickers. That's
yeah.
pretty cool. I like that. Before
Oh
that,
yeah.
the demo case was using gutta percha. That's radio opaque, so you could
Mm,
make some dots of sorts with that on the
mm,
prosthesis. Um, there's some other protocols where you can use little screws, etc., which tap into the bone. There's, all of that works. I guess
yeah,
you have here with the Jinju, of course, you have it maybe not quite as accurate as if you would use the bone screws,
yeah,
but all those options work. And basically, instead of using the model, it's using the intaglio of the denture, and then Miguel will cut
yeah,
it out and it will reverse it and make a model out of it, which is
yeah,
awesome. And
yeah.
if I'm not
So
mistaken, it recognizes those dots by itself, correct?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So I'm
important.
gonna yeah, I'm gonna align the dots. You kind of undo blue, and I'm gonna do apply alignment, and I'm gonna start best fit match, and it gets it really good. Yeah, it got it pretty good there. It's pretty good. I like the alignment. I think it's acceptable. And like I said, this case has already been planned out by the doctor himself. So we could get into, if you're wondering what he was using on here, I believe is EV, Astra EV. He really likes Dentsply implants. So same thing. This is a test case, so yeah, just for test purposes.
That's fun. I'm glad you were able to get here a new case in.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of nice. I mean, it's kind of nice. Like more and more, I'm seeing more and more of these type of restorations now. This seems to be a lot of people seem to be doing more and more of this type of restoration. So yeah, it's been great to see it. And like I can honestly say that I wasn't the biggest fan of Exoplan, but now I love it. I actually like doing these case like R&D in these cases and messing around with it, and I've been liking the feedback with our customers. They really enjoy doing their own implant planning cases and printing their own guides. So it's been very rewarding in that sense. And me in the lab like 2 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do something like this. So thank Opulent, I get to do great stuff like this and keep learning and growing with Exoplan. So yes, like I said, I really enjoy doing it now, more than now than ever. So yes, especially with 3.0 now, and
Right.
yeah.
And one of the biggest things, I mean, the first version already worked, and if you had as a laboratory the regular plastic, you could already do a virtual tooth extraction. And then it really boiled down to that other fixation pins which were missing in it. So everybody was kind of desperately waiting for the 3.0. But
yeah,
even then, the big advantage already was back then, and even now, finding all the features we were waiting for in here, is that the software talks that you can try doing this with code diagnostics, and then are you going to plan your restorations in dental planes? I think so.
yeah. You said Deadaway? Who uses that anymore? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot of good things and seeing a lot of good things of code diagnostics, and they can make some pretty cool stuff as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the stackable guides and all that jazz, but the fact that the planning software here talks to the CAD design software, that's where it's at.
Yeah, and to me, I agree with you 100% on that. Now, I also like this software. Say you're going to use this as the guide, we can always edit it. And I always come to find out you kind of see sometimes it's not the best scan, but you could always edit this. So if I do all and then close holes, it does a pretty good job of closing the holes.
Now, do you know, was that dental scan with an intraoral scanner, or did they? It looks fairly clean, so I would assume that's what they did. They didn't stick that in the dicom scanner, did they?
No, they actually did this with a intraoral. Actually, I believe it is Trios. Excuse me. Yeah,
that's fine.
They did it with Trios. Yeah, they did it with Trios. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's a pretty nice scan.
Yeah.
So
I think the demo scan, the dental was actually scanned with the cone beam scanner, which they're able to. You can basically stick an impression in there, and the dental is kind of an impression, so you could make a scan with that. But then the surface quality won't be quite as nice as this is looking.
Yeah, as long as I come to find out that what the doctor told me. As long as this is not touched, and you can mess with this little areas on top here, the edge. He said it works out great. So, for some odd reason, you see this kind of like this little marking here. And no matter what I do, I try to, it doesn't go away. So what I had to end up doing, if I go to edit, I end up like cutting out this little. course you did. It's just, uh, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. Yeah, cut it out and then close holes.
Yeah, and then I'll delete it.
Yeah.
And do the same thing. And close holes.
Yep.
Good as new. It's fine. For some odd reason, I don't know why that was, but when I try to bypass that, I always got like an error message. I don't know why that was, but yeah. So now I'm just marking, and I'm using the use prosthesis, not design. What happens if you click design a guide, it thinks this is a model, so it's gonna make you design it, a regular surgical guide. So we don't want to do that. We just want to use this as a surgical guide. The edges. You don't need the windows for this because there's no teeth.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah, and I do recommend anybody, if you're ever like wondering what kind of computer, try not to get the bare minimum. Try to always think for the future, become future proof. Even though it says bare, like we'll give you specification for the bare minimum, but I feel like I'd rather you be overkill than underkill. So
Right.
yeah. So now you have a surgical guide from a denture. So yeah, let's proceed anyway. And it's doing the exact same thing, generating a surgical guide protocol sheet as well. Open surgical protocol sheet. And then if I share my screen real quick, should share. All right, so same thing. Now you see it with like almost like a denture. And then surgical guide, same thing, shows all the implant case planning parts, system we were using, after UV, sleeve, kit information. So it's giving you everything you need, the plan of proper case. I mean, like I said, I love this feature. I'm starting to see more and more people doing it this way now. I don't know, Richard, have you, a lot of people are starting to do it this way on your end too as well, you feel like, or?
You mean using an existing denture? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I really like that anyway. I feel like it's it's very easy, straightforward. You have at least a little bit more information. You could see in Miguel's case now you could at least take a look at the midline. So you could make a judgment if everything is seated correctly. Yes, there's those cylinders around the sleeves which may interfere with your fusion,
Mhm.
etc. But at least you know you're there. You don't have to necessarily um, do much. You just convert it into a model. I think it's great. There could have been some lateral fixation pins as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, I know people use them, but the doctors I'm not using them. I don't know if it's just a thing that people are using them or don't use them, or
Well, I guess it ends up on how the implants are placed, but if all the teeth are ending up coming out, and or
yeah.
there were no teeth in the beginning, and the surgeon is flapping the tissue, everything
Mhm.
becomes things will swell up. It will be,
Mhm.
everything is sutured. It won't be quite the same anymore. And
Gotcha.
lateral fixation pins will help you making sure that your guide is in place. And especially if you're trying to do something stackable, then they're kind of you need to have them.
Yeah.
Bone reduction guide eventually there, etc. Whatever, your protocol is going to
Mhm.
change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then yeah, that's one with a dual scan. So yeah,
Cool. And we
great stuff.
pretty much exactly filled an hour. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we'll, if you guys want to feel like you guys want a demo of the software, please feel free to watch out, contact us at Opulent. So
Yeah.
we'll be glad to help you out. We could set up a personal demo if you like,
Yeah.
as well.
So
And
the
yeah.
easiest way is Miguel at opulentcadcam.com, Richard at opulentcadcam.com, or what is it, 884 CADCAM one?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's yeah. And yeah. And yeah, it's been great. I mean, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of Exoplan, but now I love it. I'm thrilled about it. I get like geeked out about talking about it, like a nerd again. So
yeah,
instead of now, it's about teeth instead of comic books or something like that. But
yeah.
yeah.
Good stuff. Well, and guys, we're planning on doing a couple more webinars with Miguel. So we're going to brainstorm on a couple of things of something what I used to call tips and tricks before. So we're going to do some very similar. There's a couple of topics which Miguel has to constantly talk about. Let's put it that way, which are just
Mhm.
repetitive, coming up on support, or which are, oh, this is something really cool. What I came
Yeah.
along. So we're going to do a couple of those, and what if you want to have a specific topic covered on it, just let us know. Send us an email.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go over some new features on the newly released Exocad Rienka. If we want, we could do something like that. If you guys are
Yes, that would be good.
interested in something like that, or I'll give you guys a topic, or if you guys want to know what mouse we use, I mean, stuff like that. Anything nerdy, trust me, reach out to us. We'll figure out something. But yeah. Oh well, I do have one quick tip for someone, Richard, if you don't mind. Um, uh, Me personally, if you're wondering why I'm like a little standing up, I use a standing desk. It's has helped me tremendously. I feel like you increase productivity, I want to say by 80%, I want to say. So it's been helping. Me personally, I prefer standing and doing work at the same time. It's relaxing to me. Yeah, I love it. If you want some recommendation, I would check out updesk.com. It's a great, so many selection of different type of desks, standing desks you could have. That's where I purchased my desk. And this is not a plug because I don't get paid for them. So
Yeah,
I wish if they want to
can
sponsor,
only
if they want to sponsor Opulent, go right ahead. Please reach out.
I can only sit for so and so long. So I need to get up after a while. I don't mind sitting, but after a while I just need to get up. My
Yeah.
legs, my knees start to bug me. I need to, I just need to.
Yeah, me personally, I found out that I get more done. I feel like I'm typing more. I'm more productive. I feel like I'm in the zone. Me sitting down doesn't really help anything, to be honest with you. So that's why yes, it's pricey, but I I took the initiative to make the purchase because I feel like I become more productive by using a standing desk, in my opinion. Stop me if I'm wrong. But yeah. Especially if you're a designer all day long, trust me, you guys want to get out of that sitting mode. It's going to do wonders for you. So just a quick tip there for everyone.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Happy Friday. Unless you have something else to add.
I think we're good. And I'm excited to do more with you, Richard, on these webinars. So.
Cool, guys. Give us a like so that we know you love those. And since Miguel was, yes, it was the second time, but the first one was that was my fault. I messed up. So give him a couple likes, all right? So, have a good
Yeah, I
weekend,
appreciate it. Yeah, have a good weekend, guys.